but Plague Moth was a creator that we talked about, and how he was privacy complaining. A creator by the name of Spinley who did a couple of videos on him. He also has sent a privacy complaint to a creator by the name of Lazy Bedhead, and
Uh-oh.
you see, it's Turkey Tom, or Tom Dark rather, was trying to get the bottom of the case. Okay, he was trying to figure out what exactly was going on. Okay, he was trying to figure out what all the tomfoolery was about. But
Oh,
unfortunately,
shit.
for Turkey Tom, okay, what he uncovered was an unhinged man baby.
Surprise!
Before we get into the video, everyone telling me to get a haircut. It's not happening. It's just not happening. I mean, it might happen, but it also...
So Tom really got that, like that early to mid 2000s like emo kid look going down.
He do. He really do.
Like you could totally see him having like a MySpace page, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, you remember him when he would wear like the striped long sleeve underneath his like band t-shirt?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is peak 2000s, okay?
Peak 2000s, yeah.
Peak 2000s.
All he needs is like like
So fucking old.
a lip piercing, and like maybe some eyeliner, you know.
Mhm.
might not happen. And I'm not going to
Or
let
an
my
eyebrow
audience
piercing. Those are big too.
Ooh, yeah, that too.
determine what I do with my hair, okay? I'm not here to be beautiful and pretty for you. I'm not here to be your cute little, oh, do this, do that. I'm here to be a fucking freak and make commentary videos. So shut it. Okay.
You know, at least you can expect honesty from Turkey Tom.
Yeah.
That out of the way. Plagued Moth. Plagued Moth is somebody I've talked about on my channel, I think a few times maybe, but really the big time that I talked about him was when I had this conversation with him. Now I had him on stream, he wanted to come on.
Which we played a little bit of that. We didn't really play the part where him and what is it, that creepy reading guy. I didn't play the part where they had their little gay debate, but I walked away from that thinking that they were both just awful people. Not in terms of morally, they just like they're both gay, extremely gay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just asking because there's a lot left out as usual. Wait, what's being left out? What's being left out? What am I leaving out? What was I supposed to talk to Plague Moth?
Oh, yeah, so he can like preemptively strike us down. No thanks.
Yeah. Was there yeah? What's the best way to get in contact with him? Because I don't know his email. I don't know if he has a Discord server. Oh, I'm sorry, he does have a Discord server, but I think it's for Patreons only. So I'm not joining that. Doesn't have a Twitter, from what I know, so I can't contact him through there. I mean,
Morning, Badwick.
I'm down to have a conversation with the man, the myth, the gay legend. I don't know yet. I'm waiting for you. Wait. You're saying I'm missing information, but you don't know what information I'm missing?
Well, earlier they had asked, who all did you touch base with? And I mean...
I touched base with your mom.
John, come on now. We report on what's public. We don't go digging into Discord bullshit and shit. That's Colton's job. Colton does that.
Yeah. And then, he can dress like a vampire. Hide behind that.
Yeah. Get fucking owned by Chud.
What do you mean? You kept interrupting me, Squatch, and you kept interrupting me.
Well, if you stayed on the fucking point, no one would have to interrupt you.
Okay, well, we're not discussing. We're not discussing the call. Okay, we're not discussing the 30-minute Discord call.
I had him on, and he also talked to that creepy reading during this video. They have like a long-standing beef. I believe that part of it is because that creepy reading got his Patreon banned because he believed that he was allowing gore videos to be seen by minors or something. There's like a whole long storied history between them. They like.
The long and gist of it is they're both gay and very homosexual, and not in the good way. Also, how you, Badwick? How you doing? We got MAGA edits in here as well. Okay, John. Voltage Mike.
Good morning, Maggot.
Yeah. Good morning to all of you. It's good to see you all here. It's too early for Jonathan's shenanigans. Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan. Enough of your shenanigans, Jonathan.
I do say. What would be like a proper, like, old-timey English way to say squatching? Squatching, my dear. You don't understand.
They would have called me some kind of monster and tried to burn me at the stake, okay?
Yeah, they would have called you a witch. I dare say that woman has purple hair. Burn her.
She's a witch.
Yeah.
Burn her.
Actually hate each other, apparently. That was made very apparent by this interview as well. But they had a pretty interesting conversation, even if they didn't really get anywhere. It was a fun little interview I had. Well, apparently Plague Moth is going off a little bit recently.
And this is Lazy Bedhead.
Apparently, he's filing false privacy complaints against people who are criticizing him on YouTube. Here you have Lazy Bedhead saying, I'm not even sure how Team YouTube can reasonably say my content was in violation of anyone's privacy, especially Plague Moth, because 1, all my footage and screenshots come from his public social medias. 2, anytime his face is on screen, I edited a custom censor. Here we have part 1, the cult of Plague Moth, removed, ineligible terms and policies. Here we have Plague Moth here. Here we have part 2, the cult of Plague Moth, Lazy Bedhead. We have part 1, the cult of Plague Moth. This is part 1. This one was the one that was taken down. Here we have review not available. So a privacy complaint, for those who don't know, is basically a system that YouTube has in place where, let's say you make a video and you show someone's email. You show the email of a private citizen. That subject, the subject of that video, can then file a complaint with YouTube and say, hey, my private information is being shown on YouTube. I need this taken down because it's exposing me to harassment. Now, the only time I've really been hit with a significant privacy complaint was a long time ago when I made a video about this guy. His name was Derp Bubbles, and he was
yeah, Derp Bubbles. That was a fun little tale there. But yeah, and another thing too is privacy complaints are kind of hard to fight. Why don't you go thirst trap your wife for once? Wait. I think this is in reference to Badwick.
Oh, probably.
I don't know. As far as I know, I don't have a wife. As far as I know. By Mama Max style, do you mean terribly with falsify and dramatic? Who is this in response to, Squatching?
Calypso up top.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Like, I'm here to listen, but I'm just saying, this has been covered already, and it's been done Mama Max style. Well, you know,
we haven't covered it. Yeah, we're different.
Yeah, you're gonna get that nerdy John flair, okay? You mean out of context screenshots and clips of crap talking, as well as allegations that can't be substantiated. I mean, Calypso, I mean, if you, from everything I'm gathering, it seems like you're a pretty big Plague Moth fan, which is fine, you know, if his content's your cup of tea. I just think he's a little gay. And that's alright. I think it's a little homosexual to take down videos that are against you.
Hey, can you tone it down? What is with you and being gay today? You're never this.
What are you saying? Are you saying my gay agenda offends you, Squatchin? Okay, you gonna be like the Republicans and try to silence me?
I mean, I do like my oil.
Did someone say oil?
Oil? What?
He was basically a diaper fetishist, and he had a humiliation fetish as well, and he was a horror YouTuber, and he would go around on Twitter sending pictures of himself in a diaper to people. Now, I covered this, and he ended up filing a privacy complaint and actually got the video taken down. I'm not really sure why. I don't think there was a moment in the video where I showed his personal information, but he managed to get it taken down, I think a few times, and it stayed down for about 2 years now. Pretty frustrating when you put a lot of work into a video about someone who's a public figure, and they can abuse YouTube's privacy complaint system, get it taken down. It's unfortunate, but it is a flaw in YouTube's system. Now, they've gotten better.
Yeah, it's because like at least with like a copyright strike, you know, after 30 days, if the person doesn't press, you can get the video reinstated. With privacy complaints, you basically have to try and re-upload it again.
Mm-hmm.
It seems too biased right now. I'm not coming after anyone, but I've been attacked in silence. You've been attacked in silence. Okay. Are you a content creator or are you just a chatter?
Yeah, I don't follow the Plague Moth stuff too closely. I see his name pop up on Twitter once in a while in passing, but
Yeah.
I don't delve into things
Well, you
that
all
I
can
don't have
thank
an interest in.
Turkey Tom for me knowing anything about him.
Yeah.
About it is my understanding, and recently when I've gotten privacy complaints, they don't go through and I just do nothing about it because I'm not exposing anybody's personal information. Everything I talk about on YouTube, as you guys know, is already available information, and for someone like Plague Moth, who's a public figure, I see it as pretty silly to be filing privacy complaints against people who don't deserve it. I didn't even censor the content this way because of privacy concerns. It was because PM was abusing the copyright system and I wanted to transform the content enough to be reasonable. I see other people's privacy complaints showing what part of their videos were in violation, not me. YouTube's notifications told me it was for harassment, but the email said privacy, but didn't tell me what the offending content was, and YouTube says the claim is unavailable. So it seems like Lazy Bedhead here can't even appeal this, really. They can't even do anything about it. And it's extremely frustrating for someone like this, who's a commentary channel, to deal with this, right? Because it is an abusive YouTube system. Like, if you're being criticized on YouTube, you can respond, right? You can respond or whatever. To resort to abusing their systems for censorship, in my opinion, is pretty ridiculous, and about the lowest you.
Yeah, and that's why it's titled like
Agreed.
Plague Moth is silencing creators, because guess what? I'm sure if Plague Moth, what Plague Moth can do is, and I would recommend him just ignoring everything, right? But if this is bothering him that much, he can respond to this. You know? Also, K-Hug, thank you for renewing your membership. Thank you so much. But yeah, like, I don't know, content creation's not, like, in terms of getting criticism, it's not that hard. You can pretty easily ignore stuff. You know?
Yeah.
What was it? Back in the day when Nerdy Live first started, there was like this crazy T channel lady who I think did a live stream on me. And I pretty much
what's her name?
Yeah, it was during it was about the Truth Sleuth stuff, if you remember. Yeah, and I ignored it. What was funny is side tangent. What was funny about that is that lady got into Craig Beckett's Discord server to have him help her with it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
She really picked a winner there.
Yeah. It was funny. It was sort of like a tattletale situation where she like went into his server to tell him what I was doing on stream. It was hilarious.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, and then what was it? I told because True Sleuth was wondering if they were harassing me. I told him no, not really. They just kind of showed up in the Discord server I was in. And like were asking for information about me. And so she contacted Craig, and Craig was trying to like make it seem like I was trying to get a bigger creator to try and cancel him. It was weird.
You can go on YouTube if you're a public figure, right? Well, Plague Moth, you know, someone I covered recently. Obviously, I have contact with him. So I actually decided to message him to see what was up. I decided to be like, hey, you know, what's going on here? Now, in the past, Plague Moth has intermittently schizo messaged me saying that I'm on the side of that creepy reading or something like that. When in reality, all I was trying to do was make like a relatively impartial interview. I wasn't trying to like punk him or punk anyone. I just wanted to make a funny video about what happened. I want to have a conversation. I don't have any personal investment in the Plague Moth story. Obviously, he is someone who does kind of racy content. His old content was him like reacting to gore videos on YouTube. You know, seems a little effed up, but I don't know. That wasn't really the focus of what I was doing. I just wanted to talk to him and talk about, you know, if he thought he was a bad person or not, why he got deleted from YouTube, why he was able to come back, and I also wanted to cover the That Creepy Reading drama a little bit. But as we can see here, once in a while he messages me some schizo stuff, and I don't really know what to make of it exactly. So here's the first DM here. He says, proof your friend lied.
Yeah, and it's proof your friend lied. You also suck at gotchas. And like I don't know who this gentleman is. But
you're biased as fuck. Your relationship with Daft Pina too, like holy shit, dude.
Yeah, I think this was maybe I have no idea what I guess Daft Pina took a swing at him, I guess, before Daft Pina switched from doing like commentary to like just strictly doing animation stuff.
Maybe, I don't know. Another person I don't actually follow, Daft Pina.
Nerdy John needs a monocle so I can call him Jonathan. Oh, yeah, there we go. Jonathan. I do say, old chap. Is that a Voltage Michael I see in the chat?
Voltage Michael.
Jolly good show.
You also suck at gotchas. He said, you're biased AF, your relationship with Daft Peanut too, like, holy shit, dude. I don't really have like a relationship with Daft Peanut. I mean, I've messaged him here and there, but obviously when he was going through that whole LS Marker drama, I was relatively critical of him. So I don't really know what this even means.
Yeah. Yeah. No, nobody was wanting to be buddy-buddy with Daft Peanut after that whole thing.
Yeah.
It was... yeah.
To be honest, like here he is saying, you're biased. Funny part, if he was for the morals, why did he contact my sponsors too? They didn't care, but they didn't find me interesting. You support very shady actions as long as they benefit you or your associates. It's bad-natured and disgusting. Hypocrite. Now, my only response here was, I don't know what you're talking about and you're fried, which is true because my associates, I'm not an associate of that creepy reading. I don't really know him. The only capacity
you talked to him one time on stream, that means you're associates.
You're besties. You're besties because you shared DMs once. Yeah. Tom, you know this. This is how the internet works.
I was in a call with Sen one time. That means me and him are the best of friends.
Yeah.
I was in a call with Colton one time. That means we were in collaboration with everything.
Oh God, you're part of the problem, John.
I am.
Part
I am.
of the problem.
I told him he should have done the charity stream.
I've talked to him is when we're talking about Plague Moth stuff on my stream. I don't like talk to him about the drama. I don't like try to help him or anything. I've never even made a video about the Plague Moth allegations, and he seems very paranoid here that everybody's out to get him, because here he is saying that I'm like, you know, working with him, working with that creepy reading. So I just said you're fried, and we did resolve this a little bit in DMs here. We can see he said, no, I'm observant. Tell me why you put it as a collab. Also, what was the entire point? You yourself made contradictory statements, and it was a piss poor attempt at a dog pile. Not an idiot, but next time you try to slam someone, do your research. I don't even know what he's talking about here with slamming him. I thought
basically what would happen in that call is like Tom would ask him like a press, because like there have been a lot of stuff levied at Plague Moth over the years, and so Tom was kind of just asking him like, oh, well, general questions about that, especially about the privacy complaining stuff. And his answers to that was really like was really weird. It's like, well, you know, I can't take him to court, so I just do this. I was working on content. It will take months. Also, I really do encourage coming at without bias and actually watching from both sides. Piss poor attempts at a dog pile. Mic drop. Exactly, Voltage Mike. As you can see here, guys, Plague Moth is epically owning Tom Dark, okay? Also, too, Tom asked him the question. So, like, because Plague Moth in the past was happy about Tom getting like his Twitter and stuff taken away, and during the D'Angelo Wallace stuff, he was kind of happy that Tom was being canceled. So like Tom was just asking him about that stuff too. Yeah. He's like, yeah, well, like I didn't really know you at the time. I had people feeding me bad info about you.
Thought if anything, I mean, if you look at that debate he had with that creepy reading, people came away with that with a very favorable view of him, despite the fact that Plague Moth is kind of a seedy, strange person. I mean, we can see here, Plague clearly knows what he did was wrong, and his content's no different from murder documentaries. TCR really messed up coming in without any script or doc, because as it stands, it looks like the only thing Plague was guilty of is the Patreon stuff, which he's already stopped doing and understands that he was wrong to do it.
Yeah, because like the issue that creepy reading had in the call was like, he knew his biases and he didn't really bother explaining stuff, and so like it just kind of came off as like a schizo talk, you know. Moth kneeling on this poor Tumblr user. I know, it's sad. It's sad. When will people leave the MySpace people alone? I swear. All right, and by the way, guys, be nice to be nice to
kind.
people who are maybe don't
Visiting.
100% agree with all of us. Just saying.
Yeah, we're not a hug box. Don't make it
We're
seem to be.
not an echo chamber.
I don't know much
Yeah.
about these creators, but TCR showing here was really pathetic. Here you have this guy saying Plague clearly knows what he actually did was wrong, and his content now is no different from murder documentaries. So here they're saying, like, what he did was wrong, now his content's fine. TCR really messed up coming in without any script or doc, because as it stands, it looks like the only thing Plague was guilty of is the Patreon stuff, which he's already stopped doing and understands that he was wrong to do it. I don't know much about either of these creators, but TCR's showing was really pathetic. So here we see, like, the comments are in favor of Plague Moth, if anything, despite the fact that he, probably is a little bit of a sketchier guy.
Heck, it wouldn't surprise me if Plague Moth got a few subscribers from that whole deal.
Oh, probably.
They're like, you know what? This dude seems less lame than the other person.
Yeah.
Echo, 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 says Toxic Dome.
Good morning, Toxic Dome.
Hope you all doing well, doing swell.
I'm sleepy.
Then that
Benny
could be
had
reading.
me up at
It's
like 3 this morning.
Oh, of course, he's a
But-
cat. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he have you up?
Well, the Plague Moth did the things he's alleged of doing, but refusing to talk to him directly, muting him while continuing to just spew claims of deletion, and then crying about not being able to finish your thoughts when you finally do unmute him is not painting your side in a positive light at all. I agree with that. Like, Moth came across as like a weirdo, but he was relatively decent in the conversation. That creepy reading, even though he may be in the right, he may be not. I don't really know all the details there. It wasn't a good debate showing from him. He just didn't do a very good job. And despite that, Plague Moth is convinced that I'm like on that creepy reading side. He said, "No, I'm observant, lol. Tell me why you put it as a collab. Also, what was the entire point? You yourself made contradictory statements and it was a piss poor attempt at a dog pile. I'm not an idiot, but next time you try to slam someone, do your research." Did I really slam him? I don't think I slammed.
Oh, and the reason why he says he accuses Tom of having it as a collab, right? Well, because it says let me look at the title, because it says it basically says Plague Moth interview featuring that creepy reading. Yeah. It says is Plague Moth a terrible person, featuring that creepy reading. Because obviously, if you're clicking on for Plague Moth, you already know he's in there, right?
Mhm.
And because you can't really put that creepy reading much into like the initial title, you can just say featuring.
Mhm.
It's very, very weird for him to get upset over that. Like this is really like a simple misunderstanding that like a basic conversation could settle, but like it doesn't seem Plague Moth is in the right state of mind.
Slammed him at all. I said, put it as a collab. You also failed to mediate and were biased towards me. Ignore the blatant and proven lies for the sake of blood sport. Been on my mind for a while. I'm not starting beef with you, but I can't help but piss in hindsight at how slimy that shit is. I don't know what I did that was slimy. I thought I gave them both a very fair sort of opportunity to speak their mind. I didn't really even get involved. I really was just like listening to the debate and enjoying myself with that. And I think the takeaway from everyone, if anything, was that Plague Moth did better in the conversation than that creepy reading. So I don't know why he's mad about this. I
think he's mad that Tom got that cash money hose. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, man? He was mad.
He got that Lambo money.
Yeah, he was mad that he had that he had that move to Canada money. You know what I'm saying? The main players and their audiences. That's pretty vague.
Yeah, but who are they?
Yeah. Is Plague Moth silencing you? Because technically he's the main player. Is he silencing you?
He is the main player.
We're all players in this game, okay? Little do you know I'm the main character.
It's unfathomable to me why he's upset, especially with me, someone who, if anything, kind of benefited him by showing him in a good light. I didn't try to do that, but that's what happened on the stream. And I don't know how I failed to mediate. Like, I think if anything, I succeeded in mediating. These people were just screaming at each other during this conversation, and it was extremely hard for either of them to get a word in, really. I said, bro, I don't know what you think my intention was there, but to spell it out, it was entertainment. I'm not on either of your sides, which is true. I wanted to hear your takes, and then when he was in chat, I wanted to hear him talk to you. That's my stake. He said, all right. I said, I haven't talked to TCR since that stream. I'm pretty sure that's true. We may have exchanged one message briefly, but I haven't really been involved in this drama. Here he said, dude, that MFer and Slime are still going, and yeah, your name has been thrown into the mix.
Probably because they're referencing the call. Those people are still going at me. Okay.
That creepy reading, I guess.
You know, and there's a creator called Slime Beast also.
Oh, okay. I mean, for Calypso, the person that is silencing them is reading whatever the fuck.
Gotcha. Okay. We stand. We stand Turkish Thomas. hey, he's not Turkish, okay? He's Bulgarian, okay? Get the ethnicity
There's a difference.
right. All right, we don't spread misinformation here, buddy. I will not have Turkey Tom slandered as a Turkish person.
I said, as far as bias,
he has nothing to do with Hassan.
What if, like, in the middle of this video? What if in the middle of this video, Tom just like gets out of his chair and like the video just continues to play like nothing happened?
Yeah.
Your content itself kind of gross, and that's my bias. I didn't exactly hide that. Now, this Slime guy is somebody that he absolutely hates. Their beef seems to be that Moth believes he's a pedophile and Slime thinks he's not. Once again, I don't even know all the details behind that, but there seems to be this giant
Isn't that basically every like online pedo discourse? I think you're a pedophile. I think I'm not.
Yeah, pretty much. I think you're the pedophile.
Thomas of Turkish and Jonathan of the Nerds. You're right, LL. Can't group him with Hassan. Exactly, okay. We can't associate him with his...
No, just Tom is entertaining.
Yeah.
Schism that's been going on for a while here, and most recently I decided to message Plagued about this, you know, these about these privacy complaints, because I was curious about what happened. I wanted to get his thoughts. So this Slime guy, Slime Beast, he tweeted out, "I've not been the you need to leave type, but Plagued Moth on YouTube needs to be removed from YouTube immediately. Team YouTube, stop enabling and supporting this behavior. He's using your report system to re-report content he was turned down 4 months ago. It's just harassment." And here we see this screenshot where we see a ton of copyright claims, and a bunch of responses to case subjects for privacy complaints. So it seems like he's really trying to get all this guy's stuff taken down. So I ended up messaging Plagued Moth, and I was like, "Hey man, what's going on here?" And
yeah, like
if you don't like what people are saying about how you conduct yourself online, don't conduct yourself like that.
Also, too, just ignore everything. Just make your videos and ignore it.
Yeah.
I mean, Mr. Beast doesn't respond to like every single, like, oh my god, imagine if Mr. Beast responded to like every single
Mr. Beast
one of his
gets canceled every other fucking day over something stupid.
No, yeah. So like,
if he were to respond to everything, he wouldn't be able to make any content because he'd be too busy responding to the last however many years of content that people have tried to cancel him over.
No, yeah. So like Plague Moth. I don't know if you're secretly listening, okay? In which case you are, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, okay?
Yeah.
But Plague Moth, if this gets back to you in any way, shape, or form, just like ignore everything. Just ignore this, okay?
Yeah. Because it's literally pixels on a screen. The people bitching and complaining don't matter.
Or
just conduct yourself like that.
If you absolutely need to respond, just like make one end all be all addressing every single thing, okay? And then after that, ignore it. Because guess what? You can say, hey, I respond to that in the video.
And
then you can just let people make videos on you. And eventually, if you ignore it, it's going to die out. Because that's what happens.
Yeah. Like, things stop circulating because one of the parties stopped responding.
Yeah.
And then it just looks incredibly unhinged for everyone else to be going after one person, and that person is just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah. Alright guys, time to make the 50th Plague Moth video, and it's got like 2 views.
Yeah. Because the topic doesn't receive any more fuel. There's nothing extra to talk about to continue the... There's probably a easier way of explaining that, but this is how I explain it at fucking 7:30 in the morning.
But no, yeah, we get you. We get you.
I'm
Was
glad
not
somebody
exactly
does, because some days,
cordial,
holy shit.
and I'm not really sure why he decided to go this route. But I said, all I said was, is this real? Like for this, I said, is this real? He said, lol, sorry, do you ignore your buddy and people you've hosted being files? Once again, I'm not really buddies with Slime Beast. I think we've messaged like very briefly about this stuff where he's kind of wanted me to make a video about it, but that's really it. And I haven't really made a video about it until this date, which is when we're talking about the privacy complaints, which seems to be a clear-cut example of an abuse of YouTube systems. He said, do you seek targets for easy drama because I'm scaly gore man? Did I strike you? Chris Piss is a delusional P-word who saved Lolicon and stalked a girl since she was 13. Don't know if any of that's true. Austin admitted that the live stream of him saying, depends, are you getting your rocks off to a 14-year-old or a nice set of tits, was real. Their priorities as well as the rest of your more connected associates are clear. You should stop telling your audience you hate P-words. He just comes across as completely like delusional or schizophrenic.
And again, if there's a grain of salt, what he's saying is true, right? Because he's alleging that these people who are against him have said this stuff. Then you can't come at Tom like he supported what they said.
Yeah.
Like he could.
Unhinged.
He could be 100% right, but the way he's explaining it is absolutely god-awful.
Schizophrenic here. He thinks that once again I'm like with Slime Beast like collaborating to take down his career. I don't care. The only time that I've cared about it right now is this privacy complaint thing. I haven't made an exposed video about Plagued Moth ever. The only thing I've done is that stream where he debated someone and like looked good in the audience's eyes. So I don't even know why he's upset with me here. Here I said, where's the proof of him being a P-word? I literally just asked you a question. I don't know what he did and didn't do. He said it irritates me. It's redundant at this point and fishing. Don't know what that means. I gave you plenty of evidence, all of which you ignored. I don't remember that evidence, and if I did see it, I think I didn't find it very convincing at the time. I said, I don't remember it being very compelling. Let's say he is a P-word. I don't know him. Let's say for argument's sake he is. What about the privacy complaints? And the privacy complaints, like for example, were against Lazy Bedhead, who is not Slime Beast and is a different person.
Yeah, yes. So unless you're trying to say that Lazy Bedhead is a P-word. It's the Tom Piker pipeline is real. Oh my god.
God, what have we started?
The Tom Piper. Oh my god.
Like, why were there privacy complaints being made against her? Is that real or fake, or is there something I'm missing? I didn't get a response after this. I can check again, but to my knowledge, he just didn't respond to me. Yeah, I got ghosted, dude. I got left on red there, so I don't really know what this guy's problem is. I don't really know what his fucking issue is. He seems to be convinced that I'm like colluding with all these people to take down his channel or something. Now, I did end up asking Plagued Moth to see some evidence and stuff. He ended up sending me some screenshots. Here it says review not available. Here is Lazy Bedhead's complaint. Here is all of these privacy complaints to Slime Beast from Plagued Moth. Here is the actual email to someone called Spinling, who's been involved in a ton of drama with Plagued Moth that I know of, and it looks like he's claimed basically the entire video here. Again, did the same thing. Hi, that creepy reading. This is notify me we've received a privacy complaint from an individual regarding your content. So it seems to me like there's a lot of privacy complaints being filed here falsely, and unless they're
and again, like does every single creator who cover him just show outwardly like very private information? Right. Right. Squanch, am I allowed to read this on screen?
I suppose.
Okay. So this is from the Calypso person who was in chat earlier. Check who you platform or shout out. Just because they have something to say doesn't mean it's worth to spit, including anyone you interview or shout out, because some people will do anything to look better than they deserve when someone else is criticized for similar ethics. Okay, I mean, that's just...
It's incredibly cryptic. We're not getting any information. How are we supposed to look into something if we don't have any information?
This is very similar to Mama Max, Plague Moth, and all who support you. You could be right for all I know, but please make a simple ABC correlation story, please. I beg you.
Pretend you're trying to explain it to a child. Use small words. This is the internet. Small words.
Pretend you're explaining it to Smaggle.
Yes, actually.
Exposing, you know, Moth's personal information like his address or something. I don't really see why these are being used. It seems like an attempt to silence all his critics. And it's particularly confusing to me because I feel like if Plague Moth thinks he's in the right, he could just respond once to all these people and then like leave and like do his content normally. Like he shouldn't be bothered by these people. I mean, he's a relatively successful YouTuber. If you go to his channel, I mean, he's got 400k subs. His videos, I mean, they don't do that well, but you know, this one has 130.
He's making money.
40k views. This one has 47k. This one has 70k. Like he's doing decently on YouTube. So I don't know why he's even getting involved in all this like bogged down crazy drama. But he seems like someone who just can't stop himself. Basically, here we have once again a ton of just privacy complaint stuff. This is a bunch of tweets as well. Obviously, there's a whole rabbit hole here. I don't really have time to get into, and I don't even know how I would explain all of this stuff. But I mean, what we do have here, at the very least, is a bunch of evidence of Plagued like taking down content clearly. And I don't really know why he's doing that. I don't know why he feels the need to do that at all. I feel like you could just respond to him once and then just like not deal with it anymore. Why the
No, yeah, this is exactly what we're saying. Like Plague Moth, you only hurting yourself here, buddy. I don't know who you think you're epically owning by doing all this, but buddy, you're only making yourself look bad here. This is all that is kind of confusing. No, yeah, exactly what I'm saying. Like, Plague Moth just needs to make a cohesive video on what happened, and unfortunately I don't think we're gonna get that from his camp.
They need to like censor the critics, you know. Anytime somebody is censoring criticism of them explicitly, instead of responding to it or just ignoring it, I'm always kind of off-put about that person, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, maybe there's something to those allegations. And I hope the Plagued Moth going forward, instead of filing privacy complaints, will consider the fact that it doesn't make him look any more innocent to file false privacy complaints against people. If anything, it makes him look more guilty just implicitly by, you know, trying to censor criticism. I think that it's a horrible move to censor criticism. You could just respond to it, you could ignore it and move on, you could do nothing about it. Obviously these people aren't on good terms, so I don't think he could like work out some kind of positive arrangement with Lazy Bedhead or something. I don't think they could work that out behind the scenes, but there's no damage or harm to be done in just ignoring it. But instead he's like actively filing privacy complaints, which is wrong. Now in this video I've used no personal identifying information about Plagued Moth. I've not shown any email, I've not shown any, you know, anything that can be seen as personally identifying. So I anticipate there will be no privacy complaint in this video. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong, but I don't think that's going to happen. And if he does do that, then it's going to be a false complaint. I'm going to fight it to the best of my ability through YouTube. But ultimately, my biggest concern here is just these false privacy complaints against people like Lazy Bedhead, who seem to be being censored on YouTube by Plagued Moth unjustly when they didn't do.
So yeah, Plague Moth. That being said, of course, we are not using any. In turn, we are not using any identifiable information against him. So we should be good as well.
Don't trust Thomas Piker. His soul is as dark as his black nail polish.
Ah, true, very true. One second, I'm going to the thread. Did they delete the thread? I think it's an old thread, so my little ways down. Oh yeah, here we go. But yeah, here is the original thread from Lazy Bedhead. We went over Spinley's thread about his situation with Plague Moth, and as you can see here. By the way, like these videos are like 2 hours long. Each in them, part 1, part 2. Jesus Christ.
I mean, I like me some long form content, but
yeah, but like how bad, how deep does the Plague Moth rabbit hole go? It seems like it goes on forever.